Hey, warriors, and happy pre-Valentine's Day week to you. This is one of the most profitable weeks of the entire year for our industry. So how you doing? Are you feeling the excitement? Here at the office, the warehouse is buzzing with massive amounts of orders in and out the door. On the office side of things, we are preparing to send out a huge commission run to all our January hardworking team leaders and Freedom Goddesses and Adoni. We're also getting ready to see you all next week at the VBW. Right now, though, it's time to focus on our guest speaker and the gift of 30 minutes of high-quality, direct sales-focused education that will help you become a better and more efficient business owner. This call is about time management, and it's good. It's really good. Pay attention to what bubbles up for you while you listen. And when it comes to listening, I will remind you to close down your social media, slide your cell phone off to the side, and give yourself the gift of time. Be present. Absorb the learning. Your first code word, write it down, is I. Your first code word is I. And I am ready to turn the call over to Mrs. Nicki Keohohou. Nicki, take it away.
Hello, this is Nicki Keohohou, CEO and co-founder of the Direct Selling World Alliance. This is call number 4 of the Wow War series. Before we get started, a couple of announcements. Coming next Wednesday is our Better Business Workshop. This is the night of learning from a successful Athena man or woman who is doing their demo and a sex education topic. It's so important to attend events such as these, either virtually or via streaming video. Staying plugged into the company and learning keeps you in a continuing education mode. Remember, it takes certain skills and knowledge to get you to a specific level in the company. And then to advance in the company, it takes additional skills and knowledge. To be a leader of leaders, you take advantage of all the training and education that Jen offers you. So let's get started. In today's training, you're going to learn at least 3 ways to enhance your life and career by practicing time efficiency. You're going to discover how to maximize your moments and how leaders invest their limited time to create a sustainable business. Also, how leaders prioritize and honor themselves, their families, and their career through prioritization. You'll also hear how leaders balance their life to truly excel and not compromise their relationships. So let's just get started here. Some priorities are start your accomplishment list and go for it, and learning how to just say no, and you're going to learn a little bit about procrastination. So most people prepare an accomplishment list to keep priorities in order. Do you know how to best use a list such as this? There are many techniques, and I'm going to share just a few. Prioritizing your list. First of all, look at that list and say, what's critical? Number 1. There's a number 1 next to it. It's a critical item. It's urgent, and it's important, and it must be done today. Can't be moved forward. Or you may put a number 2 by it, which means it's important. It's goal related, and it must be done soon, maybe not today, it could be moved forward to tomorrow. And it makes you think about how it could be delegated. If you put a number 3 by that list, it can wait. It's probably not a current income producing activity, and there's no significant time pressure. So plan your priority list every evening before the close of the business day. I do this before I leave my office every day. You'll be able to start your next day and know exactly what you'll be doing. That's how you stop from majoring in the minor things, because you have a list of those critical and important things to do each day when you walk into the office in the morning. So you're going to refer back to that accomplishment list at the end of every day, at the end of every break, throughout the day. And if you stay on target with the accomplishment list, watch what happens. Another challenge that many people have is the inability to just say no. How easy is it to say no to someone? Do you kind of feel guilty about it if you say no? So in order to prioritize your life and your business, no will be an important word in your vocabulary. So here's some choices and dialogue to help you feel comfortable saying no. Oh, thank you for inviting me. My schedule is pretty full at this moment, and I'm going to say no at this time. You can try saying, unfortunately, not at this time. Or, I have to pass right now. Or, let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you. This gives you some time to think about your decision and how you're going to say no if you are going to say no. Another option is, this isn't a good time for me to make that commitment. And I really love this one because there's something about stay-at-home moms. People think that when you're a stay-at-home mom and you work from a home-based business, that you have all the time in the world, so you can bake those cookies for every bake sale. Well, here's a thought. I'm currently working on some specific goals in my business, and I'm focused on that. Can we give someone else a turn? Or let's give someone else a chance to be baking the cookies. That so many moms haven't had the opportunity, let's give them a choice. Any way for you to say, let's give somebody else a chance, because sometimes we pick up the pieces and we do it all. And my guess is there are a few of you that are listening on this phone, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, that you can't say no when something comes up, because people say, busy people get it done. But you're not really working, you're working from home. They don't understand. Honor yourself, honor your time. If you have the inability to say no, remember that just because you can doesn't mean that you're obligated to do so. Here's another thought around this time mastery. Are you a procrastinator? Many people are. Why is that? I want to share a few reasons people procrastinate. They're waiting for the right time. This just isn't the right time. I'm getting ready to get ready. Another reason people procrastinate is lack of clarity or interest for the task and or the goal. It really isn't that important to them, so they put it off. If it's not that important to you and it doesn't fit into your life right now, it's okay to say no. Third reason, underestimating the time required to complete a task. So we get part way and we get frustrated, so we just say, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Well, when is later? Another big reason people procrastinate is based on fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear that I'll need to do it again. If I do it now, I'm going to have to do it again. They're going to ask me next time too. So just remember the Nike quote. Just do it. Instead of procrastinating, do it. And then say, I just did it. And celebrate. Celebrate your accomplishments. With a new magazine, a bubble bath, a walk in the woods, playing outside with your children, or going on a date with your partner. Do something special. Celebrate. There's an old proverb. It states, when all is said and done, more is said than done. That's what happens if you procrastinate. You talk about it, you think about it, you worry about it, you fret about it. You're talking about it all the time, but you're not really doing it. Boy, talk about stress. Remember that stress and fatigue are rarely caused by the things you have completed, but by the thoughts of what you haven't accomplished. Is that you? Take a look, hold the mirror up, make a decision. Maybe this is not who I want to be any longer or how I want to go about my life any longer. Now, we have a code word every time that we do this series. And today's code word is the word have, H-A-V-E. So be sure to write that down so that you have it when you get ready to submit that you were here on this call. Well, next let's explore your time. We all know everyone has 24 hours in a day. Some use the time more efficiently, thus appearing to have more time than others. And time is kind of like money. Time and money can be saved, invested, spent, made, and the scary one, wasted. Time is what life is all about. The way you spend or invest your time is based on your habits. Only you control your time. Others will try to influence how you use your time, Remember, though, it's your choice. It's your choice. Effective delegation is huge in efficiently using your time. There are many benefits of delegating assignments, tasks, responsibilities. Because you see, delegation increases value and morale for your team. It decreases your workload and stress. It gives your team an opportunity to learn and to shine. It encourages your family to be an important part of the business. And by the way, when you call it our family business, they feel more part of the business. So here's a little rule of thumb around delegation. If someone can do it 80% as well as you, delegate it. Don't sweat the small stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. If they can do it 80%, I say even 70% to me, I'm willing to let it go because it doesn't have to be me doing it and it doesn't have to be perfect. So who will you delegate to and what will you begin to delegate? If you're one, open to it, and two, can let go of control, and three, let go of perfectionism, there are many tasks to delegate to team members. So some of those responsibilities could be invitations. They could send out the email invite to the meeting or to a regional or to an event. Maybe they're in charge of the music at a meeting or decorations. Maybe they set the agenda or have a training segment. Maybe they're the greeter at the door welcoming guests. And these same things carry over to similar, not all, but many of them carry over to conference calls too, where you can delegate portions of the call or a webinar. You can delegate awards and recognition, testimonials, refreshments, setup, cleanup, lots of things that your team can do. Maybe they can post on your social media. There's so many ways you can involve other people. And in delegation, instead of, I need to have you do this, I've got about 6 or 8 different options here. Which of these would you like to do to participate in our team meeting? Or which of these would be a stretch for you in participation at our team meeting or on our team call? Now let's talk for a minute about including your family in your business and delegating to your children based on their ability and on certain ages what they can and can't do. Maybe they could load and unload your car as you go to an event. They could put labels on materials or put your hostess packets together. And by the way, if they're doing those kinds of things, it's okay if the label is crooked or it doesn't look quite right. It's nice when you share with people that my children are helping us with our family business and they support the business too. Thank you for your patience. As things aren't exactly perfect, it's still teaching them about running a business. Maybe your family could file things, put the mail outside, assist with household chores, maybe laundry, dishes. By the way, don't correct them on those dishes. I know you want to tell them, no, the forks go this way and the cups go here. They never are going to want to load the dishwasher when they're a teenager if it's not your way. What's good enough, I guess, is a good thing to ask. Maybe they could cook dinner or make something or order the pizza. They could watch the younger siblings. There's a lot of things that children can do to support you in the household. Also ask your spouse or your partner for support. So maybe it's on a party night. Your sponsor could cook dinner, and it's okay if he or she orders pizza or opens a can of soup. It doesn't need to be a big meal. They can take care of those things. I know there are some of you in here that are listening that cook in advance, get everything packed up, get the soup on the table, whatever it is, get all the dishes set. It's okay for them to participate and the children to support that. Maybe they'll have a greater appreciation of what you do to support them. Your partner or spouse could help with homework, bathe or put the children to bed, help with household chores, feed the pet. I don't know what it is, but there are things that they can do to step in. Now, we just talked about delegation. The next thing you can do to efficiently use your time is get control of the time-wasting bandits, like your phone, your email, and your social media. So I want to share a few tips to help you control your phone. First of all, use voicemail. You can do that to screen calls. You can turn your voicemail off and have it go straight to voicemail or turn the phone off. That phone can be like your assistant. You don't have to answer it every time. By the way, nobody ever died of a voicemail. And a little bit about phone etiquette. It states that when you initiate the call, you are in charge of ending the call. Therefore, you have the ability to end the call as soon as possible. So a few examples of conversation closers are, what can I do to support you in the next few minutes? Or you must be busy, so I'll let you go right now. Is there anything else I can do to support you at this time, at the end of the call? Those are things that will wrap the call up. I know we're both really busy building our businesses and we have full weeks this week, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go right now. Thanks for your time. Those are great ways to let people know you honor your own time. 2 other phone tips are keep a phone log. Oh, this will be frightening to you, I'm just telling you, but I still suggest it. Keep a phone log of all the calls that come in with the date, the subject, the outcome, and if you have scheduled a follow-up call. This will put an end to all of the little post-it notes that are everywhere and little notes here and there, and we will talk about how to organize your follow-up calls later in this training. But I want to say to you, if you keep that phone log, you might see you have a lot of conversations, possibly with no results. Now, if you have small children wanting your attention, when you're on the phone, this is a technique I used when my kids were small. Get a box, a large box, and gift wrap it. And the cover needs to be able to come off, so it looks like a present. Put it up on the top shelf in your closet and put special toys in there, inexpensive toys in that box that the children can only play with when you're on the phone. And then when you finish the call, the children must put the toys back in the box and you move it up. And you can rotate those toys occasionally. You're going to find that your children will be entertained when you're talking on the phone. And here's another thing around that. Don't say just be a minute, it'll just be a minute, it'll just be a minute. They don't know what a minute is. So you can set a timer and then make sure your calls go for that 10 minutes or whatever, that 15 minutes, whatever it was. And by the way, when you tell the person, I set a timer for my children. I told them this call would be 15 minutes, and I know you understand that. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go now, and we can have another call next week or whatever else you're going to say with that. But those little phone tips are very helpful to make that phone not be a time waster. How about with email? When you have a lot of email, and most of us do, we want to set times during each day, maybe 2 to 3 times, depending on your business, that you're going to let people know that you will look and respond to those emails. So let them know how you manage emails so that they know when to contact you and when to expect a response. I ask my own personal team to say if it is something that is a 1, 2, or 3. 1 is urgent, 2, and that's what's in the subject line. 1, and then whatever it is. 2, and whatever it is. 3, and then I know how to sort those. Because if it's a 3, it doesn't have to be done right now. They're just trying to get it out of their head into mine, which isn't really a good idea very often. So make it a habit to respond to emails within 24 to 48 hours. And if you're out of the office for a period of time, learn how to set that autoresponder on your email to let people know when you're going to return and respond. And by the way, when you go on vacation, that's a time for you to be on vacation, not to be checking email with your family. It takes away from their joy. Let's talk about social media for a minute. We have a lot of people that are social media fanatics. And the key here is to set a time each day that you will monitor, comment, or post to social media sites like your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Pinterest. Try to limit your time on social media sites to 30 minutes to an hour each day at the most. Doesn't need to be every day. And you can get some things and group them and put them all in the schedule to go out every day, but you only really did it on one day. You can go onto the DSWA website and look at, or onto our Facebook page and take those little quotes that are already branded and ready to go and just copy them and put them in yours. Doesn't need to take a lot of time. People get stuck in front of that computer. Remember, no matter what, this is a people business. It is not stuck behind a computer business. You have much better relationships when you're with people. So a huge secret in our business is that most people are unaware of how to use their time efficiently. and they don't know how to set business hours and adhere to them. So setting business hours is showing respect for yourself, your family, and your business. Do you answer the phone during dinner? Do you jump up from the family time to check caller ID? What you're really doing is telling your spouse and your children your business is more important than your family. You see, setting business hours sets an example for your team and your customers. Your leaders and upcoming leaders will recognize that you're treating your career with Athena like a business. They will follow your example, and burnout will be at a minimum for you and for your team. Any person that is available 24/7 will burn out and eventually quit. If that's what you're wanting, keep doing it. But if you want to make a successful business, set business hours. And, when you answer your phone at midnight, they go, oh man, she doesn't have a life, or he doesn't have a life. I don't want to do what he's doing. Not good. So business hours are personal. Look first at your family priorities and your business priorities to determine your business hours. List your business hours in the signature of your emails and in your e-newsletters. For example, you might say something like, the best time to reach me is Monday to Thursday, 9 to 2 and 8 to 9. So this gives you time, with your family, with school activities, with dinner at night or having dinner with your family and so on. And your weekends that are off for you. Now, I really don't think there's a product emergency in your business. No one is going to die if they run out of something. So sometimes if you just let it go to voicemail and you say you're going to respond within 24 to 48 hours, they got it out of their head and into your space, and then you follow up and say, I got your voicemail, the product is being shipped. Or I got your voicemail and I'm calling you today. What's better, 2 or 4? And use your time wisely again. You see, understand, you will not be in your office all that time. You have an assistant. That's your voicemail. So return calls during your next available business hours. That some of us are just tied to that texting and that phone. And here's a little thought for you. Do you know that it takes you 20 minutes to get your brain back in the place it was before you had the interruption? So you can't think at the same high level if you're constantly interrupted. I'm always asked for organization tips. So organization is definitely one key component to a successful business. Here's a few suggestions that may support you in this. Use one calendar for your family, your personal business, and your community. If you do a Google Calendar, you can give access to your family, and you can tag things in different colors. This is a family item, this is a personal item, this is a business item, so that everybody can see what's going on. And if they're not old enough and they're not computer people, you can get one of those big 4-month quarterly boards and put things up on those dry erase boards in the kitchen so others can see what's going on. It really helps you to manage who's going where, when, and what events you have on the schedule, and so people know where you are when you're not home, all of that. So it will decrease the chance of double scheduling. Remember, list your personal and family priorities before your business and your community. If you do that, your life will be more in harmony. So you're going to want to find a filing system also that works for you to get yourself more organized. Use binders or file folders for your hostesses, key members of your team, your leaders, what bookings you have, who you had a booking with before, maybe trainings that you've done. Just keep putting them back because they'll show up again in a few more years. Have a place for newsletters from your company so that you can go back in and review that and not have to call the company and say, what's this or what's that? You've got those newsletters. Or forms. Maybe have a folder for your taxes with all your expenses or previous tax forms or 1099s. And maybe you're a person that's not a paper person, so set up your electronic filing and have all those pieces in your computer. If that makes it easier for you and you're happier with that, find what works for you. Now, by the way, just because it works for you doesn't mean it works for someone else. So other people have to find their best way to get organized. So I want to move a little bit more to just living in harmony as a way to use your time properly and to grow your business with ease. Living in harmony is when a person divides his or her time evenly between work, family, and personal fulfillment and happiness. Ideally, that is what we are all striving for in life. To achieve harmony, we must review our priorities and time management techniques. Give thought to some of these self-coaching questions here. What are the benefits to me when I feel in harmony in my life? What's the benefit to me? What is the benefit to my family when we feel we have a more balanced life and living in harmony? What are the benefits to my business when I feel more in harmony in my life? I can guarantee you this: way less stress and way more joy. So around work-life choices, things to consider are prioritize and schedule personal and family time first. I've said that a couple of times. I want to make sure you got it. Schedule your business time next. Learn to take care of yourself by eating healthy, exercising, and scheduling your personal time. Delegate or hire someone to assist with housework and our business tasks. Here's the thing: if you can hire somebody for $10 an hour and you make $30, $50, $75 an hour when you're out with a client, with a customer, what is the smart thing to do here? You don't go to heaven and they go, oh, wow, you cleaned your house perfectly every day. You get a star here. I don't think so. So it's okay if somebody else is doing that for you. So some other choices to live your life in harmony include having business hours, as we discussed, paying more attention to your spouse and family, being present when you're with them. They will definitely be more supportive and helpful. Call your Athena's business your family business. Be present with them when you're with them. Don't be thinking about your business when you're with your family. Because, people feel guilty when they're working their business. They think they should be with their family. Then they're feeling guilty when they're with their family, thinking they should be working their business. Guilt does not serve us. Here's another little thought. Wake up 30 minutes earlier to have more personal time for you. Personal time could include maybe meditation, prayer, developing a life of gratitude, thinking, planning, just personal quiet time. And one other thing, I've just got to say this. Look at how much time you're spending on watching TV. And what do you really get from that? What is the return on investment from watching television? Just think about that a little bit. We're going to move on to the Balance Action Plan. This action plan includes all 4 areas of your life: your home, your personal, your career, and your community. Feel free to add them on a list. Start making this plan. And list anything you think is in your best interest to accomplish or to discontinue. How important is this in the rest of my life? Is a good question to get you there. And this will encourage more harmony in your life. This is a gut check exercise. Be honest with yourself. Take time to make a plan to live in that manner and watch what happens. Now, I kind of want to share a story here that I think is very valuable. And this is about a professor of philosophy. And he stood before his class with some items in front of him. When the class began, without using any words, he picked up a large empty mayonnaise jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students if the jar was full, and he filled them right to the top. And they agreed that it was full. They said, yes, it's full. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. And he shook the jar lightly and watched as the pebbles rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The professor then asked the students again if the jar was full. And they chuckled and agreed, oh, it was indeed full this time. And then the professor picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand filled all the remaining open areas of the jar. Is the jar full? They responded, oh, yes, Professor, until the professor poured water into the jar. Now the jar is full. I'm going to ask you, are you getting the big rocks going and then doing the small things later? What are you doing in your life? Is there more room for more if it is benefiting you and your family? So I want you to recognize that this jar signifies your life. The rocks are truly the important things, such as your family, your health, your relationships. If all else was lost and only the rocks remained, your life would still be meaningful. Now, the pebbles are the other things that matter in your life, such as your career, your community service. The sand signifies the remaining small stuff, the material possessions. If you put the sand into the jar first, there's no room for the rocks or the pebbles. The same can be applied in our lives. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you'll never have room for the things that are truly important. So pay attention to the things in life that are critical to your happiness and well-being. Take time to get a medical checkup. Play with your children. Go on dates. Go for a run. Or write your grandmother a letter. There will always be time to wash clothes, clean the house, or watch television. Take care of the rocks first, things that really matter. Set your priorities in life. The rest are just pebbles and sand. Maximize your moments every day. We can't get the time back that we spend. Remember, when we invest time in the right areas of our lives, we get a big return on investment. Wishing you the best in your Athena's business, and we know you're going to have an amazing Valentine's month.
Thanks, Nicki. Wow, another incredibly useful and timely call. So, what was your aha moment? Be sure to share it on your submission form. I want to read about what happened to you while listening to this call with Nicki about time. And now I have the great pleasure spending a little bit of time giving you the results of the February Blitz. 274 Goddesses and Adoni participated, 769 parties were booked, and the following random winners were chosen this afternoon. For participating, the winner of the booster kit is Jennifer Avery. The lucky hostess belongs to Tiffany Gajeri, or Jigger. Sorry if I mispronounced it, Tiffany. I gave you both. Tiffany, your hostess from March 4th, Ebony, is our lucky winner of $100 in Athena's products of their choice, of her choice. And her party has to hold and qualify. Okay. The new recruit that won the $100 shopping spree is Alicia G. She belongs to Ashley Holman Dupuy from Maine. Congratulations. Ashley, you have bragging rights. Your recruits are lucky recruits. So she gets $100 in free Athena's products when she completes training. So who won the battle? Well, 769 parties. Veterans, you booked 469 parties. New community, you booked 301. That is a close game. Congratulations to you all. You all win because you strengthened your asking skills, you filled your open dates with profitable parties, and you planted seeds for the future of your business. So because the veteran team won, we chose 5 random winners from the veterans team, and here are the winners of $100 shopping sprees. Congratulations to Jessica Rosado from Connecticut, Michaela Reef from Maine, Samantha Williams from Vermont, Shirley Childs from New Hampshire, and finally, Olivia Lee from Maine. Each of these goddesses will receive a $100 gift certificate code tomorrow via email. Watch for it. It'll be from Robin. And as for recruiting, wow, I was watching those recruits pour in all day, right up till midnight. The score was Veterans 12, New Community 6. Amazing results. Thank you all for helping to build Athena's into a strong company with a bright future. We chose the random winner from the winning team for a free womanizer, and the winner is Alex Lynch from Maine. So thank you all for participating in this blitz. It was one of the most successful ever. And I'm envisioning all these parties filling your bank accounts and helping you grow more confident while getting you more bookings and recruits. And wow, 769 parties. So let's just imagine if 8 party guests attended those 769 parties. That's 6,152 people whose lives will never be the same. And the orgasms. Oh, the orgasms. I can hear the screams and moans from all over the United States of America. And speaking of screams and moans, next Wednesday is our BBW. We've got Top 10 goddess Jen LaValle ready to present her goddess demo for you. Talia Kocha is going to show us her lap boards. And sex educator Lisa Hoopus will be in the house for empowering sex education. We'll be playing a fun game that you can use at your parties, as well as recognizing successful sales, recruiting, and leadership from January. We'll be raffling off lots of prizes and trip money for the Athena's cruise to Bermuda. All the raffle money will be donated to goddess Nicole Boyer, who recently had her eyeball removed and is recovering. Help us help her pay for a prosthetic eye that is not covered by insurance. We take care of our own. So it's going to be an incredible evening of sharing, laughing, and learning, and I hope that you will be there. So to wrap things up here, I wanted to remind you that the directions to submit your code words will be posted on the Wow and War pages. They are listed in the email that contain this link and are listed on the Google Doc. I empower all of you to find and follow the directions. Submitting your code words by midnight tonight, Warrior Wednesday, means that you will be entered to win a free Valentine's Day booster kit valued at $300 retail. Your final code word is time. T-I-M-E. Your final code word is time. There is no Warrior Call next Wednesday due to the BBW, but never fear, Nicki and I will be back on February 22nd with call number 5, Building a Recruiting Culture. Thank you so much for being part of Athena's and the Warrior program. I appreciate your time, and it's my hope that after this call, you will maximize more of it. Have a profitable weekend of parties, and happy Valentine's to you too. Be sure to celebrate.